Hey guys, it's Ghost57 coming at you from the power of YouTube through the internet itself. Okay guys, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at this really cool 4K dash cam. Stay tuned guys so I can show you how to use it. So let's go ahead and take a good look at this dash cam right over here. So on the bottom, as we're looking at, it has HD recording, camera rotation, 170-degree wide angle lens, loop recording, G sensor recording. So it does do quite a bit for such a inexpensive camera. And you can see there is 3 lenses that you're going to get in the kit and a LCD display screen. It says 4K, but we're going to go ahead and try it out and see if it is actually 4K. Let's go ahead and look at the back specifications. So this is kind of like a broad specifications compared to the manual inside, but you can see some cool things right here. Overall, this is a pretty good, inexpensive camera for the price. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what we get in the box. So let's go ahead and open the box. As you see right here, it's nicely packed to protect it in shipping, which is a good thing. And here is the bad boy itself, the dash cam. Right away I can feel that this is actually pretty cheaply made. It's pretty light and plasticky, and these cameras kind of look a little silly, but we're gonna go ahead and test it out anyways. Keep in mind this was a $50 package, but you have your camera looking at the passengers and yourself inside, which is nice, good protection, and the camera looking towards, of course, cars in front of you. And you have your micro SD slot right there, and it looks like a Type-C charging port, so that's pretty cool. Let's see what else we got in this package right over here. And this looks like the backup camera, so you can look at the cars behind you. Keep in mind these are all different resolutions. This camera right here is actually only 720p, so it will be a little bit more blurry than the inside camera, which is 1080p. And supposedly the camera on the outside is 4K, looking towards the cars. And here is your DC power right here for the dash cam itself. Pretty cool looking. It is pretty long, so if you do need to tuck your wires, you do have, it says 6 meters of cable, which is good. You never know where you're gonna have to tuck this thing into, and we'll figure out what my car in a little bit. And what else do we got here? This looks like the mount that comes with 3M's sticky adhesive, so you can mount it to your front windshield, and it does adjust, so that's pretty neat. At least you don't have to buy your own mount. And it looks like it comes with one more sticky mount just in case, I guess, you mess it up, which is always nice to have a secondary backup. And it does come with its own 32 gigabyte micro SD card. Keep in mind this is the only thing it supports is a 32 gigabyte card, and it says class 10 TF card, so just keep that in mind. But it does come with one, and here is the handy dandy manual. I like that it comes in color. That's pretty nice. You probably will need to read through the manual a little bit. The menu is a little tricky, but it shows you the actual specifications of your cameras. So you have the 4K camera up front, the 1080p camera looking at your passengers, and for your reverse camera or rear camera, you're looking at 720p. Okay, now that we're in the car, we're going to go ahead and mount this little bad boy. Again, it's pretty light, but we do get a little tiny window mount right here. So we'll go ahead and put this on. As you see, it's pretty simple. Just goes right in over here. Should hear a nice clip. There you go. And you want this to face your passengers or yourself. You do have the rear facing camera that we're going to install pretty simply. The Nissans are pretty easy to kind of put within the molding of the car. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. You do have the screws that come with it and some sticky mounts, so you can mount it on your license plate. We're not going to do that. We're just going to put it facing the back window. So we're going to go ahead and do our pill right here. It does come with an extra pill just in case. This is, here we go, this pretty sticky stuff here. Okay, so now, as you see right there, you can move it back and forth. So we're going to go ahead and move it towards the window and get a nice stick. So I'm going to put mine out of the way because I do have my little mount right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put it a little higher up, again, so we can see the passengers. Keep in mind, you do want to put it somewhere where you can wire all your wires. And what you're going to do is you're just going to press, hold for about 30 seconds. If this does come off, you do have the extra sticky mount. So I'm just going to put some pressure on there. And since it's pretty light, you shouldn't have any issues. And then you can find where you want it to be and then tighten it up. Pretty simple. And there is your facing camera thing right there. So now that we got a good mounting place for it, we're going to go ahead and take a look at a couple features before we actually do the wire install. Now this cable is extremely long, so we'll keep the little zip tie for later. Let's see how long this thing is. But we'll go ahead and plug it in and test it out. You do get a little nice indicator light right there. And if you're looking at it, it's just a Type-C connection. And that goes right on here. So keep in mind it's going to go on the top of here, and we'll plug it in. So overall, that is looking okay. I mean, not amazing, but good enough. So if you look closely, we can see the camera and the inside of the car. So we're going to go ahead and test this out. We're going to put the SD card in here so we can get some memory. And here is that SD card that comes with it. I'm not too sure about the speed, but it is free. So that will pop in right over here like so. And now we have the SD card in there. So you can see it right there. See? SD card, no SD card. Right over there. There's some buttons right here on bottom that we're going to be playing with. So we're going to go ahead and test out the rear camera. So it plugs in right on top. And there's your rear camera right there. As soon as you plug it in, it does connect to the dash cam, which is pretty cool. You don't have to, program it or anything like that. The quality on the reverse camera, keep in mind, is only 720p, so the quality is not that good. But you want to make sure to mount it properly with the mounting system facing up. That's going to be putting you in the right position for the reverse camera. But the quality is okay. I guess for a accident case, you'll be able to see a car hitting you from reverse, which is good to know. So we're going to go ahead and mount it. So as you see right here, already started mounting the power cord. Some people might need a trim tool, but with this car it's pretty easy to kind of just squeeze it in between the trim with just your fingers. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how to do it. Again, it's pretty easy to do. You're just going to pretty much push it with your fingers. Sometimes you need to use a little bit more force. I'm already going to go ahead and mount the reverse camera. Again, this car is very, very easy to actually fit the cable through the trim, and it actually makes a very clean product when you're done. So again, you're just going to push, push, push like I am right there, and it's pretty easy. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the back of the car now, so you can see that. So the last thing I'm going to do is really mount this up here so I can see the cars from behind. There is going to be a little bit of wire tucking. Keep that in mind. But we do get a little goodie bag right over here that came with our kit. So you can either screw it on or tape it on, and what I'm gonna do is tape it on. So you're gonna get pretty much a little sticky Velcro thing right over here, where you can stick this on to one side and stick this one on. I'm just gonna tuck this right underneath, right in the middle, like so. And again, you just wanna press for about 30 seconds, okay? Okay, so I already mounted this bad boy up. I wanted it here so I can kind of demonstrate the settings for you. So what we're gonna look at right here is you have your on button. If you press it once, it turns the screen off, and if you hold it for a couple seconds, it's gonna turn your device completely off. So that's cool to know. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it back on by holding it again. Keep in mind, this does have an internal battery that will stay on in like your car. It says up to 24 hours. But you can use it if you're in the parking lot or something like that. This one automatically will turn on your recording button. So easy way to turn it off is just to hit the OK. That is currently off. And these buttons right here will actually toggle. If you see my stuff right there, you'll toggle between camera views. So this is the passenger camera. Keep in mind, all three cameras are constantly recording. So that's your back camera. There is a car behind me, as seen right there. And your frontal view camera. So first thing we want to do is actually put the G sensor on. So we're going to hold the M button, menu button, for a couple seconds. It's going to pop up your menu screen right here. The reason why you want your G sensor on is because this only holds a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, which in testing only holds about 2 hours of video. After that, it does record over itself. Which is not good. So what you want to do is make sure your G sensor is on. The reason for that is that when you're in an accident, it's actually going to save the file as a different pretty much you're not going to be able to record over it when you get hit by a car. So it's going to put it in a different file, which will be undeletable and unrecordable over. So you want to make sure that is in there. So we're going to go ahead and put it at a high setting. So if you get hit, these are all different G forces. So I'm just going to put it at the higher setting right here. You can always delete it if you plug it into your computer. So I'm going to hit OK on that. That is very, very important. The first thing you want to do, because if you don't do that, it's not on automatically. And if you get hit by a car, and then let's say you drive around for 2 hours, that video will be gone forever. Okay? Which is a silly feature that should be on automatically. And timestamp is always important too. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right here. And we're gonna hit on. And if you notice, these buttons right here don't correlate with the buttons underneath, so that could be kind of confusing. I do have audio on. You never know, if you're like an Uber or Lyft driver, there might be some disgruntled people in your car. I'm going to go ahead and put motion detector on. This is good when you are in parking mode. So it will actually record movements only, which is nice since you can only have a 32 gigabyte card in there. So we're going to hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And exposure looks fine. Loop recording, that's all good. One thing with the resolutions, which I'll show you in the practice, or the sample video when I was driving around my neighborhood. You can see license plates just fine at 4K. 2K not as good. It does use a little bit more data. Keep in mind, your frontal camera is the only 4K camera. The one right here is 1080p. I think it's more like 720p, and your reverse camera, or the camera in the back, is also 1080p. So the only camera that's 4K is a front camera, which does not look like 4K, but it's good enough. So all that is good right there. So the next thing we want to get to is going to be your date and time. So to get to date and time, you want to push menu right here. Is going to toggle to the next tab, and you can put it in park mode. That's how you put it in park mode. If you park it and you want like a little security camera in here, that helps if you're doing like DoorDash and you leave your car locked and you go get some food or something like that. It can actually, you know, be a deterrent for people. You can also put like a little sticker here, you're under surveillance, blah blah blah. However, whatever fixes your fancy. But what we're gonna do is fix the date and time. This will help when recovering videos. When you put your micro SD card in your computer, this will kind of keep everything nice and neat for you. So we're gonna hit OK on here, and we're gonna go ahead and switch the date. 2024, New Year, Happy New Year's, everybody. Okay, and today is the first month, and it's January 3rd. Okay, and this looks like, let's see if this is military time real fast. Yeah, so this is military time. And again, this helps, like if you are in a car accident, everything will be time synced, which is nice and neat. Your date, month, yep, everything's good here. So all you're gonna do is hit the mode button to go back, and you're good. Auto power is good, screensaver is good, everything is good. So we're gonna go ahead and reformat this bad boy, because like I said, I did do some testing just to see how long that 32 gigabyte memory card lasts, and it lasts about 2 hours before it starts recording. That's why that the G mode is so important, because that is going to actually save you in case of an accident. So just keep in mind, this are the settings to start off with. It's pretty easy to use. There's some other fancy things we can get into later on, but overall this is all you need to know before you get out on the road. They have other features like park mode, things like that. Nighttime setting, because I was driving around in the night. This is how you switch your settings. This will put the night vision mode on when you're driving at night. But overall, it's pretty neat. You know, you can see yourself and your passengers. But the cool thing is all 3 cameras are constantly recording. This is just like a viewfinder. So let's say if you have a kid in the back or something like that, you know, you can look at them right there, which helps. Or if a passenger is behind you and you're talking to them, well, you don't have to look in the mirror. You don't have to take your eyes off the road. You can, you know, put it right there so you can see them, or just to let them know, hey, you're being recorded. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you some B-roll of me driving around town, just to show you how good the cameras are. Again, this is a cheaper camera right here. I got it for about 50 bucks with the SD card. So pretty much this is all you're gonna need. It is a very reasonable install as seen in the video. So let's go ahead and kick to that video, guys, and we'll see how good the quality is. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so we're gonna test out the audio feature and the visual feature. So right now we're looking at the passenger webcam. As you can see right there, you can see everyone behind us. And we're gonna go ahead and get started by driving around town. And I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet and just kind of let you embrace this 4K video and audio. And here we go. So the 4K video doesn't really look that 4K, but it looks good, you know, good enough. You can definitely read license plates and see the make and model and color of the cars, which is very important, especially if someone brake checks you or something like that. You end up rear-ending them. This will definitely be enough evidence in a court case or just to show your insurance. But it's pretty good. You can kind of read street signs a little bit, but you know, it's not that great quality. But again, guys, for $50, you can't really beat it, especially that since it comes with a combo, 3 cameras and a micro SD card. So this is all you really need. Like I was saying earlier in the video, that you have about 2 hours of recording time before it starts recording over itself. Hence why I was showing you how to put the G sensor on, because if that is on and you get hit, it's gonna save that file as an undeletable file. So, you know, that does come in handy so you don't accidentally record over it. But as of right there, you can see the, you know, everything looks pretty clear. Colors are not perfect, but again, this is for, you know, accidents and things like that, so it does its job pretty well. And we're about to jump on the highway so we can test this at speed. But the frame rate I think they were saying it's 30 frames a second, so that's pretty good. Just keep in mind, I'm going to go ahead and switch off to the reverse camera in a little bit. I do have it in the corner, and the way the files save are in three different files. One's going to be your front camera, rear camera, and passenger camera. So like I was saying, everything is constantly recording. And here's that rear camera. Definitely looks like an old Nokia phone. You can't read signs. You can't even see the color the same way. It's almost like a grayscale. So I don't know how reliable this would be, especially if it was like a hit and run. It's a little harder to make out the color on the cars. Everything just kind of looks black and gray. So that could be a problem, especially if you get hit from behind and the perpetrator runs away. That won't be good. So I'm gonna wait for this light to turn green. But there's a car, not too sure what color it is. It does look like a Tahoe. Definitely can't read the license plate, so you might run into some issues with that. So we're gonna go ahead and switch back to the front camera. Again, this is your main camera. This is their 4K camera. Again, this does not look 4K. It looks maybe 720p, so they might be fabricating some lies there. But overall, it's still a good quality webcam for $50. So the last feature I'm going to show you is the parking mode. So if you see here, the car is completely off. So the easiest way to do it is you just turn it back on. Like I was stating in the video, this actually has a little battery in here. It says 320 milliamp battery. So they say it could last 24 hours. Not too sure. So we do have it on pretty much a motion detector mode that will record on motion with the settings, but you can also hit record just in case you wanted to record everything. If you notice, you do see front, back, and then you can keep it on the passengers on one of these, you know, but you do have that motion sensor on there. So it's a cool feature. If you're doing DoorDash or something like that, if you really wanted to keep that on, so you know, you can let people know, hey, I'm recording you, don't touch my car. A lot of cool features on these new cars are that you can keep them on and lock them, which is pretty neat. That's normally what I do, so I'll keep it on so I don't have to turn my car off and on. But it does have that feature that states it lasts 24 hours. So if you're in a parking lot, it might help deter people from breaking into your car. But, I mean, if they break into your car, they can just grab your dash cam. More for people sitting on your car, maybe looking at your car. It is a deterrent. Cameras deter people. But it does have that feature, which is pretty cool. It states it lasts about 24 hours. I have not tested this feature out myself. So if anybody has this camera, let me know down below in the comments how long it actually lasts for. I don't see myself using this feature very often. I like to keep it on just when I'm driving, just in case there's a car accident or something like that, and there's an insurance problem where the person states you're liable for an accident. Well, this camera will help out. If they hit you from behind, you got the camera behind. If you hit you, let's say they hit the brakes and you're driving behind them and you smash into them, well, this will help in that case. And since you have the G-force sensor on there, it will actually record it and save it so it doesn't record over it, which is a pretty cool feature that everyone has to do when they set this up. I think that's the only bad thing is it does not come set up that way, which is bad. Look at the battery life already. It's already showing, yeah, so I'm guessing it might last 30 minutes. It's already showing half the battery there. So I don't use this feature. I don't think anybody could use this feature because it's only lasting a little bit of time. So maybe if you're making a quick pit stop, let's say 15 minutes, 10 minutes, it will serve its purpose. It might be a little bit just of a gimmick to say that it has a security car mode, but you can also get yourself an external battery pack if you really wanted that feature. Yeah, I mean, there's a feature. So we'll go ahead and jump back into the video. But overall, that's this camera right over here.
Tell me what you think about it. I like it. I mean, $50, you can't beat it. Like Linus did his video, most cameras are about the same, made from the same manufacturer. So I'll go ahead and leave you with that, guys.
And with that said, go ahead and like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ghost57 out.